Welcome y'all to Robyn on the Farm. Today I'm sharing with you a prize-winning oatmeal bread recipe. This bread earned my daughter this blue ribbon at the county fair, so this is a really good one. My kids are super involved in 4-H. They do all the teams and the clubs and the competitions, and every year at the county fair they get to show their horses and cows and rabbits and goats and sheep and chickens. So that's a busy time of year, but it's super fun. And another thing they can do for the fair is they can enter in vegetables from the garden or canned goods or even baked goods. So a lot of times they enter in some of the recipes that they know how to make, and my daughter knows how to make this bread recipe. And so it won her a blue ribbon, so it's a good one. I'm gonna show you how to make it today. I'm gonna start with 1 1/4 cups of warm milk. This is whole milk, but you can use whatever kind of milk you want. Just make sure it's warm, about 100 to 110 degrees. Okay. And then you'll want 3 tablespoons of melted butter. You can also use oil if you want. You can use, I'd say, like some sunflower oil or coconut oil or light olive oil, anything you want. So 3 tablespoons of melted butter is going into my recipe. Then we want 1/4 cup of brown sugar. This is light brown sugar. You could also substitute if you want to do honey or just regular sugar, but for this one, brown sugar is really good. Next in the recipe is yeast. This is my Red Star Active Dry Yeast. I really like this yeast. I've used it for years. I wanted to show you, this is kind of a fun day because it's the day that I get to open up a new package. That only happens, you know, every 4 to 6 months. So I just wanted to show you what it looked like before I opened it. This is a brand new container of it. This is 2 pounds worth of yeast. Wow, that's a lot. So I store my yeast in the freezer. I get it out right before I make bread. I don't let it come to room temperature or anything like that. I just get it out of the freezer, I use it, and I put it back in the freezer. So if you do that, it'll last forever. This stuff says that it expired 2.5 years ago, but it's been in my freezer. It's gonna be totally fine. So you'll see when I make this bread. Okay, so you want 2.5 teaspoons. Now, if you use the little packets of yeast, just use 1 packet. That'll be plenty. So 2.5 teaspoons. There we go. Oh, it's so nice using a new package of yeast. All right, the next ingredient is salt. So you want 1.5 teaspoons of salt. So just throw that right on into your mixer. I forgot to mention, this recipe makes 1 loaf of bread. I am using my Bosch stand mixer. You can use any kind of mixer that has a dough hook. You can even make it in your bread machine if you'd rather use the dough cycle. You can do that just fine too, or you can make it by hand. So super versatile. You can make this any way you want. Okay, our next ingredient is flour. I'm gonna use bread flour. I like to use bread flour over all-purpose flour just because you'll get a better chew. You'll usually get a better rise. But this recipe also works great if you want to use fresh milled flour. You could use 3 cups of fresh milled flour. But for this recipe, I'm going to use 3 cups of bread flour. Just throw that all in there together. Okay, 3 cups. And the last ingredient is oats. These are my Augustin Farm quick oats. You're going to want 1 cup of quick oats. I'm sure you could use whole oats, but I've only ever used quick oats. So I'm not sure how that would work, but I think it would be totally fine. Now this is, let's see, this is a 20-pound bucket of quick oats. I love to store food in my home. We are supposed to have at least 400 pounds of grains per person if you're trying to store food for a whole year. So I like to store oats and wheat berries and rice and pasta and corn. I like to be prepared. So if you're into that kind of thing, you should have about 400 pounds of dry grains for your family. Now this will last forever. This says it'll last 25 years, but really if you keep it cool and dry, it's gonna last forever. So I like to be prepared. I like having extra food in my home. I think you should have way more than 400 pounds per person in your home. That's what I like to do. But if you're just getting started, get some oats and some wheat berries and some rice, and you'll be well on your way to getting prepared. Okay, those are all of the ingredients. So now I'm just gonna throw this into my mixer, and I'm gonna let this mix on speed 2 for about 6 to 8 minutes, okay? And I will show you what the dough should look like. can see our oatmeal bread dough kneading in the mixer. It's not sticking to the sides or to the bottom. It's not looking too wet or too dry, so this is looking exactly right. If yours is sticking to the sides or the bottom, go ahead and add about 1/8 of a cup more of flour. And if it's looking a lot more dry than this, then I'd say add about 1 tablespoon more of water or milk until it looks just like this. Now I'm just gonna let it keep kneading, and then it'll be time to let it rise. All right, I let our dough knead for about 8 minutes. It's really nice. It feels great. It feels perfect. This feels tacky, but not too sticky. I can work with it. It's not too dry. It's perfect. So this bread is so good because this oatmeal gives it a really good texture. Oh, this is gonna be really good. So the next step is to let it rise. So I'm just gonna throw it back in my bowl, and I put some warm water on this tea towel. So I'm just gonna cover it up, and I'm gonna let it sit on my counter just like this for about 45 minutes. Gonna want it to about double in size, and then it'll be time to shape it into a loaf and let it rise one more time and then throw it in the oven. So this bread is super simple to make. Since my daughter won a blue ribbon with it, you know it's gotta be easy because I think she was about 11 years old when she made this. She made it totally by herself, start to finish. And that's kind of what I love about making bread. My kids see me in here doing this and they are not intimidated by bread making in the least. They can all get in here. The other day, my 12-year-old was making pretzels all by herself. I mean, it's just really cool to see that the kids have confidence in doing these things that a lot of older people don't, just because they see our examples. So anyway, this oatmeal bread is gonna be good. I'm gonna let it just sit here on the counter for about 45 minutes and I will show it to you at that point. Okay, it's been 45 minutes and our oatmeal bread dough has been rising and it looks great. It's about doubled in size. So this is exactly what you want it to look like. Now I'm just gonna go ahead and punch it down. You wanna punch your dough down, then just turn it out onto your countertop. Make sure your countertop is nice and clean. Okay, and now I'm just gonna kind of press it out. And now it's time to shape into a loaf. So this recipe makes 1 loaf of bread, so I don't have to divide it in half or anything like that. I am gonna use my cast iron bread pan. I love cooking with cast iron, baking in cast iron. I think it just cooks everything, bakes everything really, really nice and evenly. To prepare this loaf pan, I poured about 1 tablespoon of oil in here, and then I brushed the oil all inside of it, all in the edges, anywhere that your bread could stick. The worst thing ever is baking a beautiful loaf of bread and then having it break apart when you're trying to get it out of the loaf pan. That's the worst. But if you oil up whatever you're using, it won't do that. So make sure you well oil or well grease any kind of loaf pan you're using. Okay, so this is how I shape my loaf. I press it all out really nicely, and then I pull the top down, and then I pull in the edges. And then I flatten it with my palms of my hand, and then I just roll it up. Okay, you wanna roll it nice and tight, and that'll give you some really good tight crumb inside of your bread. And then you just kind of pinch the ends under, and you're trying to make some good surface tension. You don't want like a flat loaf of bread, you kind of want it to be rounded. So if you kind of shape it like this, it's gonna have a beautiful shape to it. Okay, I'm just gonna kind of press it out. You can be rough with it. You definitely want to kind of let it relax. You make it relax by kind of smacking it around a little bit. Okay, so this is looking great. Now I'm just gonna throw it into my loaf pan, just plop it in there, and now I'm gonna let it rise one more time. So I'm gonna let this rise probably about 30 minutes to 45 minutes, just until it's just over the edge of the loaf pan, and I will show it to you at that point so that you know exactly what yours should look like. But this is looking great so far. This bread is gonna be so good. It has been about 35 minutes and our dough has risen so nicely. Do you see that? It's risen just above the rim of the pan and it's looking like it's ready to go in the oven. I have preheated my oven to 350 degrees and I'm gonna let this bake for about 35 minutes. Our Blue Ribbon Prize winning oatmeal bread is fresh out of the oven. It looks great. Great rise, it looks fantastic. Nice and brown on top. Oh, this bread is gonna be good. Okay, so for the very best texture, you're gonna wanna get your bread out of the bread pan immediately. You don't wanna let it sit in there, let it cool, do anything like that. Just go ahead and turn it out from the bread pan, Oh, it came out super nicely. That's why I oil up my bread pans so well, because I like for them to slide out like that and not get stuck. Okay, so here it is. Look at that loaf. Ooh, it's hot. This is gorgeous. Okay, this is what I do. I like a nice soft crust, so I take some butter and I just rub it all over the crust. This will give you a nice soft crust. It'll also make it taste really good and buttery. Oh, and the shine is really, really pretty. So I'm just gonna put this all over the crust really good. And then you can see how shiny and pretty it is. Now I like to let it cool by wrapping it in a tea towel. I don't think this makes it soggy. I think this makes it nice and soft and yummy. This is how I like it. I like doing this better than putting it on a cooling rack. I think that kind of dries out the crust. I don't like doing that, but do it however you want. This is just kind of my suggestion. But I hardly ever let it cool all the way before we cut into it, because I have a family of 6 and we can all smell the bread baking and it smells so good. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut a big piece right here and you can see how amazing this bread is. Now, you'll get the best texture, crumb, everything if you let it cool all the way, but you don't really have to. And there's nothing better than enjoying nice, hot, homemade bread. Okay, so there it is. Looks fantastic. Doesn't that look good? Looks great. Okay, I'm gonna take a big bite of this heel. I love the heel of the bread, so I'm gonna just take a bite of this. It's really good. So when my daughter made this for the fair, she had to make it and she had to display the recipe, and judges would go around and they would taste test all of the different entries and look at the recipe and judge it that way. And so when she won, it was based on looks, taste, the recipe. And so it's pretty cool that she won first place with this bread. And it's totally deserving because this is so good. I love the texture. I love the little oatmeal pieces in it. This is really, really great bread. It's great for sandwiches, great for toast. It's great for anything. It has a great texture. It's nice and soft. I highly recommend you making this bread. So I'll put the recipe down in the description. Go ahead and try it out and let me know how you like it. I'll see you next time on Robyn on the Farm.